In a move towards increasing Nigeria's crude oil production and growing its reserves, NNPC Limited has declared a state of emergency on production in Nigeria's oil and gas industry. Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPC Limited, Mr. Mele Kyari, disclosed this in a keynote address at the opening ceremony of the 23rd edition of the Nigeria Oil and Gas Conference and Exhibition in Abuja, saying a detailed analysis of assets revealed that Nigeria can conveniently produce 2 million barrels of crude oil per day without deploying new rigs, and so a war has been declared to help NNPCL and its partners speedily clear all identified obstacles to effective and efficient production. Joining me for more on this is Uzochukwu Obienu, Partner, Energy and Natural Resources, KPMG. Thank you, Uzochukwu, for joining me today.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
All right, well, not many are sort of impressed by such declarations, seeing we have been in a state of emergency, even in food production, for about a year or so, and we're not more food secure than when we started. So what's your reading of this?
Well, yes, a lot has been said, but not so much has been done in the past. So you can understand where those views are coming from. But I listened to the GCEO, Mele Kyari, speak. I liked the use of some of the words that he used. He said it's war. So that gives us that sense that, well, we may see something that will be different this time, hopefully. So the sentiments are quite mixed. I mean, you hear a lot of, we've heard it before, and so what is going to happen differently? But it's a wait and see game. It's never really been about what to say or how it is said, but more of how do we go ahead to implement what is being said. So you can understand the mixed feelings, but hopefully we can trust the words and watch and see the actions that will be taken in the very few months of this pronouncement. That will then give confidence to the teeming public and the investing community around the said war that's been declared. So it's about what is being done at the end of the day.
Okay, since you made reference to, some of the words he used, I'm also going to bring back or put those words back to you. For the obtained time, we're again reminded of the capacity to produce more than 2 million barrels of crude oil per day. I mean, we've been hearing this all along, and there were times we were even doing much more than this before we then started, nosediving and all of those. Mele Kyari said the major impediment to achieving that remains the inability of players to act promptly. So like I said, we're going to be taking those words one after the other. Who are these players who have not been acting promptly, and how then do we get them to act?
So like you said, yeah, I listened to him speak, and players, when you use players, you use stakeholders, it's a very wide net of individuals and groups. In the oil and gas industry, it's one area where we're not lacking in players and stakeholders. The partners, the JV partners are stakeholders, they are players. NNPC, it's a player. The communities are players. Then the naval officers that help to ensure security of and integrity and of the pipelines, they are players. So there are so many players that are involved. And again, I go back to the words that he used. It's not focused on just the partners of NNPC or NNPC themselves, but I mean, everyone needs to, every hand needs to be on deck, right? To ensure that this happens. Because production is one. What about evacuation? What gives impetus to continuous production is the ability to evacuate what is produced and then sold and realized as revenue for the company, for the country, for the companies that are partners, and for the country through NNPC. So quite a lot is involved, and the use of players really defines it, because there are so many actors in this scene. And until we begin to look at each of them and begin to say what needs to be done to fix this area, that area, then this 2 million may just be another statement. In fact, it's not just about producing 2 million barrels. It's evacuating 2 million barrels that should really be the concern. Are we able to evacuate 2 million barrels, even if produced? Or are we going to produce 2 million and then evacuate 1.3 because 700 is lost in the whole process? So if I take that, I would say what needs to be said really from the get-go is we need to be able to evacuate and sell 2 million barrels of crude oil per day. Production is good.
Okay.
Yeah, evacuation is more important. Yeah.
I would like you to speak to evacuation and impediments to evacuation, really.
Well, it's a song that we have sung for so long. The biggest of them is, of course, oil theft, hot tappings and all. There was a documentary that was widely shared where there were over 40 different hot tapping points on a particular evacuation line. I mean, that already tells the entire story. Some of the companies, the players, have resorted to barging. That tells you that there is a challenge around the pipeline. There's also the issue of the integrity of the pipelines. And Madam Mele Kyari did talk about it. Some of these pipelines are as old as the nation, as old as Nigeria. And so you think about the maintenance that's been done over years, and you're asking yourself, are they still at the right level to support this audacious ambition? So if you talk about community and community-related activities, yes, that has been managed a little bit, but what we have really right now is not the local community activities that you used to have, all those minor theft. What we have is organized crime. And I've talked about it before on a similar program to say that, look, it's multifaceted. It's for you to evacuate and take maybe 300,000 barrels of crude out of Nigeria. It's big deal. So it's not just something that you can just take one tanker and take it and then you move. A lot is involved. And so we will need to, again, rethink the whole architecture around the security, around the marine, around the ports, and everything around that region to ensure that, look, when produced, people can take full benefits of the production. There are some of the players and the partners, they are putting down money. You don't want to put down money into what will not yield anything. So there's a lot to be done around evacuation infrastructure. There's a lot to be done around the political will to ensure that what is said is being done. We've been on this for so long. If you recall, there was a time when some producers simply said, you know what, we're not doing this anymore for some time until we see some serious sign around the waging the war, taking it back to the people that are waging the war against the oil and gas sector of this country. And so some of them just decided to say we'll not do anything for some time. All of that, we need to restore the confidence. That's why I said at the beginning that, look, what we do between now that the statement has been made and the next 6 months is very important. It will tell the players, those that are on the negative side, it will signal to them that, hey, it's not going to be business as usual. And those that are looking to actually take full benefits of their investment, then they can begin to be encouraged to say that, yes, we're seeing enough signs for us to continue. We're seeing enough signs for us to even think of additional investment in the areas where we play. So evacuation is big deal, big deal if we're going to take full benefits of the production. I'm happy with production, but I will be more comfortable with that we're evacuating 2 million barrels per day.
Interesting. Now, talking about crude oil theft, which you also talked about, my concern is this is something we've been fighting for ages. Why is it difficult to actually fight it amicably? Amicably is not even the word. Why is it difficult to actually really fight it and nip it in the bud?
Well, what I'll say is there are multiple interests at every point in time. I mean, once people begin to profit from a system, it becomes very difficult to say you are not going to profit from this anymore. I mean, they won't take that, sitting and just fold their arms and clap for you. You have to take the war. You have to win the war, right? You have to deploy everything. In war, there's mediation, there's brute force, there's all manner of things that you use to ensure that you win. And, it's become more important for us at this time because as you look at our revenue as a nation, right, what were the things that drive revenue from crude oil is volume and price. Whenever the price moves, it never really works for us very well because we also depend on the same price for the refined products. So for us, it's really about how can we increase the production. I listened to him and I'm happy he didn't even go near price because once the price increases, it should have been a positive for us. But once it increases, I mean, we take the beating from the refined product end of it. So it's production. Production needs to be increased as much as possible. And then we need to ensure that what is produced is very well evacuated. And then we can then say that, yes, we're taking the full benefits of the resources that we have.
All right, let's talk about Dangote Refinery now and other modular refineries and also the back and forth about whether some persons are not allowing some things to work and all of that. You know what I'm talking about. I'd like to get your comment on that.
Well, Dangote made an audacious move by building the world-class refinery that he has put up. I mean, it will take only someone of his caliber, of his doggedness to get that going in the first place. But when you hear a Dangote say that, look, there are forces that are trying to, in a sense, ensure that this is not successful, then it only underscores the enormity of the problems that we're dealing with. I mean, if I go back to what I said earlier, there are people that have profited from business as usual.
Can these people be taken out? I mean, not taken out literally, I mean, taken out of, that space. Can they be put somewhere else?
I believe you. And in the new Nigeria, that's what we should clamor for. It's what we should see. And we're hoping that all of that can happen. But it's not going to be an easy peasy activity. They've been here for the longest time. This is, I've called it organized crime. It's like hostage taking, right? So we all have to agree that this is going to happen, right? From the president to the ministers to the naval officers to everybody that is involved in one way or the other, the full security architecture and all of that will need to be involved. And then we can say that, look, we need to get this done as a nation. We need to cleanse the system of the powers that be, right? Be it in the refining system, whether it's particularly in the upstream play. That is where this has been a major menace. So we need to agree that we want to do it and then muster the political will to get it done, right? And signaling is very important, like I said. Signaling is key. Well, what are you doing now to give me the confidence that you will continue to do this for the foreseeable future? Because investment is not, people don't invest, especially in this industry. You don't take out your investment in 1 year. No, you can't do that. It's long play, right? And then if I'm going to put money, if you're going to invite investment into this country, then definitely you will have to, restore the confidence in that sector completely. When you do that, then we'll begin to see additional investments. We'll see our rig count begin to go up again, and then we'll see us harnessing the full benefits of our resources.
All right, talking about that, I mean, global oil prices, talking about that, beg your pardon, global oil prices of crude have sort of spiked due to geopolitical tensions. And of course, we also see the beckoning hurricane season. What risks and opportunities are there for Nigeria looking at all of this?
Ordinarily, it should be cheering news for us, but it's not. Because on the one hand, we export crude, and then on the other hand, we bring in refined products, right? Until we are at the point where we can take care of, we don't have to import refined products. We are self-sufficient in a sense as far as refined products is concerned, and we're even exporting. Anytime the prices go up, I mean, we will not be able to roll out the drums. It's going to be difficult for us to roll out the drums because on the one hand, it's like it's in your hand and then it's taken away. And I dare say that when it is taken away, it's higher because that's coming from refined products. So should I be happy that revenue will increase because of geopolitical tensions? Maybe not, because at the same time, we will, unless we do some of arrangement that ensures that there is some subsidy of sort. Otherwise, the beating will go back to the nation in the form of the price of refined products. So nothing to be too excited about, to be honest.
Right, Uzochukwu Obienu, partner, Energy and Natural Resources, KPMG. Thank you for your time on the show today.
Thank you for having me.